I can step through paper, I can step through paper, I can step through paper, voila! Well, today's story is one that you all know very well. I would say if you were to rate Bible stories in the Bible that kids know, this is definitely in the top 10. It's pretty famous. And so in order to focus on this story, this is one of those stories in the Bible where God does the impossible and people trust in him. At first they don't trust in him, but with a little bit of time they do trust in him. And so I have a sheet of paper right here, and some of you may have seen this before, but basically if someone were to say, is it possible for you to step through this paper? Do you think that's possible? Well, if you were to basically fold it in half and you were to cut a hole out of the middle and say, I can do this. Yes, it is possible for me to step through it. Yeah, maybe not quite so much. Kind of difficult. Well, in today's story, God's people cried out for help. They're like, God, we really need your help. And God took his time because he had a plan, but then his plan started to unfold. And the cool thing was, is while God's plan is unfolding, he's challenging what the people of the culture trusted in. What does that mean, you might say? Well, a lot of people trust in different things these days to get them out of trouble. But at the end of the day, it's trusting in God. And so I'm going to show you a way that you can step through a piece of paper. I'm going to make a cut because God said, hey, here's one example why you need to know that I am God. And then another cut. Boom! Here's another example of why you need to know that I am God. And those cuts keep coming, and keep coming, and keep coming. Now we have this. Can we step through it, Mr. Joel? Is it possible? No, not yet. And once again, that's because God's plan is unfolding. It doesn't always happen the way that we want it to, or as quickly as we want it to, but God is at work. So I'm going to make another cut right through here, and another cut right through here. And I'm going to start to go a lot faster. I'm going to make another cut right through there, and another cut, and another cut right through there. And you say, Joel, is it possible to go through? And I will say, no, I can't fit through that little hole. Still doesn't make sense. You know, sometimes when God's doing stuff, it doesn't make sense to us. And even when God doesn't make sense, you read something in the Bible and you're like, what? I don't know if that makes sense. We need to trust God. And so here is where the paper starts to unfold, and we see the amazingness of God. And in this case, can Mr. Joel, who weighs over 150 pounds, over 250 pounds, step through a single sheet of white paper? You know what's cool? I bet you our special guest speaker could step through it at the same time. And believe it or not, let's see what we've got. Are you ready? Are you ready? Aye, aye, Captain. Oh, snap. Check this out. I can step through paper. I can step through paper. I can step through paper. Voila. I can step through paper. I can step through paper. I can step through paper. Voila. All right. We're going to learn more about this story about Moses and the plague. So I need for you to sit up straight. I need for you to point your nose right to the front and freeze until Mr. Corey tells you what to do next. Yay!